back, my dear learners, to our video lectures. And as a continuation of the factoring lessons, our video will be discussing about factoring the sum and difference of two cubes. So when we say cube, it means the expression, real number, a variable, is raised to the third exponent or the exponent of. So how does factoring the sum of difference of two cubes look like? So this is how it looks like. We have, for example, a cube minus b cube or a cube plus b cube. So how do we factor this kind of binomial? So we will be having a pattern, and I want you to remember this pattern. First is to get the cube root of the binomials or the terms of the binomial. So the cube root of a cube is a, and the cube root of b cube is b. This will now be our first factor. Now, what will be the sign in between of our first factor or the terms of our first factor? It would be, we just copy whatever is written in the given. So it's a minus b. So what will be our second factor? The second factor would be, for the first term, is the square of the first term. For the last term, it's the square of the last term. For the middle term, it would be the product of the first and the last term of the first factor. So it's AB. And how about the sign? So the sign would be, if it's minus here, it will be plus on both the terms. Okay? And then similarly, if we are doing this for a cube plus b cube, then the first factor would be the cube root of the first of a cube, and then the cube root of b cube, which is b. And then just copy the sign. It's a plus b. So it's plus or the first factor should have a plus operation. And then for the second factor, it will still be the square of the first. So square of a, and then the square of b is still the product of a and b. So ab here. But this time, minus on the first in between a squared and ab, and plus between ab and b squared. So again, the cube root of a cube here is a, the cube root of b cube here is b. Same here. The cube root of a cube is a, the cube root of b cube is b. So this is the pattern that we will be using in order to factor sum and difference of two cubes. So let us practice with some examples. So let's have the example x cubed plus 8. So first, let us identify the cube roots of x cubed and 8. So x cubed is simply x cubed, and then 8 is 2 cubed. Therefore, x will be our a, and 2 will be our b. So if we put that in our pattern, the pattern of our formula, or the pattern of the factors. So we will have here the a is x and the b is 2. And then since it's plus, I will put plus here. And then I will get the square of a, so that would be x squared. And then the square of b, which is 2, so that's 2 squared. And then I will multiply 2 and x, that's a and b. And then the sign would be, since it's positive, here is negative, this one is positive. If I simplify this further, I will have x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. Now this is now our factor. This is now the factor of x cubed plus 8. Okay, let's have another example so that we have we have more practice on this. Let's try 8 cubed plus 216. Okay, so again, let us first identify the a and the b. So this one is just 8 cubed. This 216 is actually 6 cubed. Okay, so 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. And then therefore, our a is a and our b is 6. So we will now put that here in our pattern, in the factor pattern. So we have A and B, and it's plus. So I'll put plus here in the middle. So A cubed is A, and then for B, it's 6. And then the square of A, the square of B, which is 6, 6 squared. And then the product of A and 6, which is 6A. So since it's plus, I will put here minus and then plus. So simplifying this more, we have A plus 6. The factor of A cubed plus 216 is A plus 6. And A squared minus 6A plus 36. So this is our math. Let's have another one. Let's have a last example before we go to practice exercises on this. Let's have 64x cubed minus 27. Okay. So let's first determine what our A and B's are. So if we simplify this further, we will have 64. So the cubic of 64 is 4. So this would be 4x cubed. Okay. And this one, 27, that would be 3 cubed. Therefore, our A is 4x and our B is 3. So if we now put that in the pattern of our factors, so A is 4x, B is 3. We have minus here, so I'll put minus in the first factor. And then the square of the square of 4x, or the square of A, so we have 4x squared, and then the square also of B, so 3 squared, and then the product of 4x and 3, which is 12x. So since it's minus, it has to be plus and plus here. So simplifying the factor further, we have 4x to the quantity squared is 16x squared plus 12x. Oops. 3 squared is 9. Okay. So this is now our factor. So again, I hope that you understood the pattern for this one. Just make sure that in order for you to apply factoring the sum and difference of two cubes, you have to make sure that the two terms of the binomial are perfect cubes. Okay, there is a cube. Okay, there's a cube root for that variable or number or value. So if there's none, when you inspect it and then there's none, try to check first. Maybe you can apply first common monomial, factoring using common monomial, or maybe you still need to simplify first the expression before you can apply factoring the sum and difference of the cubes. Or maybe you cannot use the factoring the sum and difference of two cubes pattern in the given question that you have. Okay. So for you to practice, I want you to answer this as your practice. Okay. So for your practice, I want you to copy this on your notebook or on your sheet of paper and then just pause this video so that you can answer it on your own. And then later, once you're done answering, you play this video again so that you would know if your answers are correct. Now, if you need to go back to the previous part or the first part of our video, then you can just stop this and play it again so that you can review how to factor sum or difference of two cubes. Okay, so you can pause this video and then you can answer. Okay, so let us now check if your answers are correct. So let's start with number 1. We have 27 n cubed minus 125. So let's identify the A and the B. So here, the cube root of 27 is 3. So we'll have 3m cube. And then the cube root of 125 is, 125 is 5. So 5 cube. So 3m is our A and the 5 is our B. So putting now the pattern, we have A minus B for the first. So it's 3m minus 5. And then the square of the first, so the first square of A squared, we have 3m squared. And then we will have 5 squared here. And then 3m times 5, which is 15m. Since it's minus, the sign on the second factor is both plus. So simplifying the factor further, we have 3m minus 5 times 9m squared plus 15m plus 20. So this is the factor. I hope you got this one correctly. Okay, let's go to the next one. For number 2, the question was 864 minus 4y cubed. Okay, so in this case, um, it seems to be that 864 doesn't have a cube root, right? But looking at 864 and 4, both of them can be divided by 4. So that means there's a common monomial. So what you need to do here first is apply the common monomial first. So I'll factor out 4, and then I will divide 864 by 4, and we will get 1. When we divide 864 by 4, we get 216. So I'll put here 216. And then 4y cubed divided by 4, that gives us y cubed. Okay. Okay. And then we will have this one. 216 is already a perfect cube, right? So we can now proceed to identifying our A and B. But don't forget to put 4 all the time on the outside. Okay. So 216, that is 6 cubed, and this one is y cubed. So our A is 6 and our B is y. Therefore, our factor would be 6 and y. So 6 minus y times 36. And then we'll have that 6 squared. No? 6 squared is 36. And then y squared here. And then 6y in the middle. So plus plus on the factor. But do not forget the 4 that we have factored. So if we put it in a more clear expression, our factor would be 4 times 6 minus y times 36 plus 6y plus y squared. So yeah, that is the answer for number 2. I hope you got it right. I hope you were able to see that 864 is not a perfect cube and that there's a common factor in 864 and 4. Let's go to the next example or the next practice exercise. It's x cubed minus 64. So this one is familiar with you already. So we have x cubed here and this one is 4 cubed. So our A would be x and our B would be 4. And if we factor that, we will have A minus 4 and then the square of A, the square of 4, which is 16, and then 4 times A is 4A. So it's minus, so it's plus plus. So this is our factor. So I hope you were able to get all those practice exercises correctly. Again, if you need more exercises, you can email me for to ask for exercises, or you can simply answer the exercises in your module. So I'll see you on the next video on factoring.